Welcome to Cax Bar and Podcast, Canada's first podcast bar. What that means is you can come here for food, you can come here for drinks, you can also come here and record a podcast. Come on down, we're located in downtown Calgary, Alberta in the Beltline area. See you soon. And we're rolling. I'm here today with Ben Cannon. Ben's was one of the producers for the recent Cax Comedy Night show. Ben, man, seriously, big thanks for doing that with Tassir as well. Shout out to Tassir.
Yeah.
But the comedy show is wrapped up as of this date. We're gonna be on a hiatus till the fall, and just because comedy's not that it's hard to run comedy shows during summer in Calgary, right? From your experience.
During Stampede and during the rest of the summer, a lot of shows take a hiatus. So, and Tassir and I have been working hard the last few months. So, maybe Tassir is right that we need a little bit of a break.
Yeah,
he seems to have taken a little bit of a break.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So but a lot of comedians they also don't perform during summer, or.
Oh no, I guess it depends.
Because I know Laugh Shop and Comedy Cave and stuff keeps going in Calgary. It's just that because you guys advised us to also not do it during the summer.
Yeah, well, it gets a little bit lighter crowds during the summertime. Everybody wants to be outside on the patio or something. It seems like, and a lot of clubs like the Laugh Shop and Comedy Cave will take on newer people who are just starting to headline and try them out for the first time during the summer. Oh, really? So
it's almost like the A-listers aren't really out during the summer.
Yeah, well, they're out at big comedy festivals and stuff. We got that great outdoor comedy festival coming.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, yeah. So So we're gonna be on a hiatus because of the advice we've been given there. But hey, okay. So how'd you think the season went, if you will?
I think it went really well.
Yeah.
We started off really strong with Chris Gordon and True Knot.
Oh man, yeah, True Knot. Shout out True Knot. Holy, that was a treat. I wasn't expecting that at all, man. I went in blind for that one, and I was crying, laughing. That was insane, man. But just everything about that night too. And I'm sure you heard about the legendary after party that happened. Ben had to go to work.
I had to go to work.
I went home, but apparently it was epic. No names shall be named, but the amount of stories I've been hearing from that night after, it's just True Knot did it in a bit, and it was he had me crying, laughing, just the way he told how ridiculous everything ended up being, and man, you guys got Chris Gordon. I mean, honestly, all the headliners were just amazing, man. Super
Brian,
happy with that.
Ferris, me, and Charles were the other headliners.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. The other day, Charles,
Haycock.
Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, no, that guy's stupid funny too. Holy fuck, man. So do you guys just kind of reach out to these people? You just kind of know them, and then they just yay or nay, or how hard is it book these guys? Because the quality is a lot of headliners in the past have also been super awesome. I'm not knocking on that, but I don't know, maybe I don't know what it was. It was maybe there was just a little bit more timing, or when I say timing, because we spread out the shows to every 2 weeks, maybe it was a little bit more anticipation on me and some of the crowd's part. But I don't know, I just found it dialed in. It was just banger after banger. Each headliner you guys brought on, I legit was thinking to myself, I'm these guys should be having their Netflix, a Netflix special,
Yeah, that's one of the things about comedy. If you stay in it long enough, you meet these people, and you hope to rise as high as you can in prominence, but also you're in this situation where other people around you are gaining prominence. This one guy who used to do our shows, Dave Merhej. He still comes to Calgary every once in a while, but he was recently in a movie with Daisy Ridley from the new Star Wars movies. So
who is this? Sorry.
Oh, Dave Merhej. He's a comic from Toronto.
Okay. Sorry, I was fixing your camera there for a second there. And okay, so these guys, you guys just sorry, Ben. I lost track there. You guys just kind of meet these guys and just develop that relationship and asked him, hey.
Yeah, you meet them and then they go on to do great things like America's Got Talent in Charles Haycock's case.
Yeah.
Although, did you see Charles on America's Got Talent?
I didn't. No, but I should look it up. Man.
If you go and watch the clip, he like starts okay, but then I guess it was like too weird for the mainstream audience, so he got the X from Heidi Klum and he got the X from Sofia Vergara.
Oh, no way. Hang on. Wait. Okay, sorry. If I look this up, then we can find this?
Yeah, Charles Haycock on America's Got Talent.
Okay, sweet. I'll look that up right away. Well, I'll save it for when I look it up. Because now I'm curious what he said.
Was devastating to watch because he's one of the best in Alberta. Like, everybody loves Charles, and then he goes on there, and they just weren't feeling him that night or whatever. It was a wake-up call to how, hit or miss some things can be in this business.
Yeah, well, comedy is subjective, I guess, but I don't know, man. I thought he was fucking so funny, man. So I mean, I would imagine if you did that same bit and wherever I was, I would be laughing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I'll have to go check it out and see what he said. Because maybe he said some pretty crazy offside shit, or I don't know.
No, it was just some joke about leaving his bike on the bus, and Sofia Vergara seemed confused by it. So, anyways, I don't want to talk about Charles. He did good.
True. Yeah. Okay. Well, Ben, let's start fresh here. I don't think I've ever we talked off air and stuff, but tell me about like your origins. Like what's the Ben Cannon origin story here? Tell people about yourself.
I've thought about this recently, and I've developed kind of a complex about it. I call it my Aladdin complex. Because I started to I don't know, that's when I remember starting to love comedy, is seeing Aladdin when I was 3 years old. It came out, and I didn't want to be Aladdin. I wanted to be Genie, the Robin Williams character, because he was funny. But in Aladdin, who wants the power of the genie? It's Jafar, the bad guy. So I've been wrestling with that internally recently. I don't know if I'm the genie or Jafar, or I don't know. I still need to reconcile that within myself a little bit.
What do you mean by that? You're saying by wanting to be a comic, that's like gaining power or something, and then, so you think you're a bad dude because you want power.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about that. I just like making people laugh. How long have you been doing
comedy for?
Since 2011.
Okay, so Ben's fucking funny, man. So right now it's like, do you think the universe didn't let you, as of right now, go to that next level because you'd be a power hungry dirtbag?
No,
Jafar styles, maybe.
Maybe if I'd.
Do you get tempted to kick a parrot when you see one?
I'm 33 now, and I feel like if I had really shot to the top a few years ago in my 20s,
you'd be covered with cocaine and bitches.
For better or worse, probably something to that effect. Whereas, I don't know, I'm not in a big rush to make it. Even if I never make it beyond this level, I still enjoy the craft of it. Mm-hmm. Recently, there's a guy who came around the Calgary comedy community, and he was talking about, he was very critical of everything about the Calgary comedy community. He goes, "Oh, it's a club, not a craft." And I've been thinking about that. I don't know if that's true.
What do you mean by that? What? Can you elaborate a little bit more?
I think he was just a little salty that he wasn't accepted into the community. I don't know. He was very standoffish right from the get-go, and he called it a club, not a craft. And he said, "We're like a boys' club. We should be men, but we're still boys."
Is this guy funny or? Okay, well, man, that's. Come on, isn't that really what's going on?
He came around 10 years ago too for a couple weeks and then disappeared for as long as I can remember, but he's been back. And I've been thinking about, his criticisms of the community. I've been trying to think of a joke about it. Like, we're a club, not a craft. I don't know if that's true. We all hate each other. Shouldn't we be like friends if we're a club? I feel like we're all in this for comedy. We don't all hate each other. There are some testy relationships in the community and some grievances, but for the most part, people get along.
Well, I mean, I was thinking, just because I listen to a lot of Rogan and everything like that, and I've gotten a bit of knowledge about the LA comedy scene through listening to him, and I think it's almost like Calgary is like behind a bit in the comedy culture, so they're running now into the natural issues that presents itself through like something like stand-up comedy, like that place like LA probably dealt with already like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Because like the job itself, it is hard to not think like a team because you're vying for attention.
Yeah.
And you need people to whatever like you and laugh at your craft, and so it's kind of hard to be. It's no different than like fighters, like two fighters training in the same gym. They're in the same weight class. They're getting good. They're winning their fights. Like eventually they kind of have to fight each other, right?
Yeah.
So that's almost like there's that famine mentality almost, right? Because that was what Rogan was trying to say he wanted to get rid of, because at the end of the day, like there's so many people out there. Like,
yeah.
So there's room for each person to develop their own fan base, like
definitely.
And so I mean, but the scarcity mindset, it's not good in any walk of life, I don't know if you study like law of attraction and things like that, but when you think more grandiose, like more abundant, like it starts to happen, man. But it's hard because you have to like battle your ego, and then and there's all these like human flaws that we have that are very natural towards thinking a certain way when a circumstance, an outcome like looks like it's going to be a certain way. So that's probably what's happening to the people like in the community, like
you start to think about it as like limited opportunities in this like pool of finite things that could possibly happen. I think of someone like Dale Ward who went viral on TikTok with his chest shaving videos. It's not like there was like a position on some job board for comedians, like who wants to be the chest shaving comedian guy. He just took that part of himself and turned it into, now he's opening for Tom Segura all summer.
Yeah,
it's
that's fucking awesome, man.
We make our own opportunities in this business, and it's not a zero-sum game, I guess.
What does zero-sum game mean again?
Oh, like finite people competing for like a finite amount of points or things within a closed system, whereas the world is vast and things can arise that then create new opportunities for people. Look at AI exploding right now. Nvidia stock's up 2,000% or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Mm-hmm. The world's not a zero-sum game.
Okay, so it's basically saying there's multiple ways to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not just one route, basically.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. But this, like, I heard Dana White say this recently. Dana White is, right?
Yeah, the UFC guy.
Yeah. Well, UFC president, but he basically explained like what I already kind of was learning from other people too. He didn't invent this, but he said, like money will come when you got to do what you love and you got to be good at it, and it has to like bring value, and then like money will come, but you have to like be yourself. You gotta do what you love, right? Like Dale's chest shaving thing, like that's him, like so he would have been putting that up on the internet whether or not it was going to go viral or not, like it's so it's like I think that's the trick, because I don't know, I pay attention to so many comedians now that it seems like they altered their bits, like they're not being themselves. Like the crowd can kind of tell when you're not being yourself, or you're just kind of like grasping for a concept now to make a bit, right? So I don't know, I think it's just, you gotta be like unauthentically yourself, but like your best self, you know, because like obviously if you make people laugh all the time naturally, then there's something there because you're being yourself. You're like, you know, you're like hilarious in your friend group, but how do you hone that into finding that same people like in a massive way, right? In like in a wider spread audience way, right?
Yeah, it's tough. You got to be yourself, but you also got to be relatable. And then people fall into the trap of writing jokes about the same topics or whatever it is. But as long as you can put your own spin on it, then it's relatable. I don't know if I've even cracked the code on that yet. I feel like I've changed a lot over the years. But where I'm at with it now, I feel like I'm finding a style that I enjoy, which is like pretty much just a heightened version of myself. So
yeah, but you have to always be like evolving too, because think about it. If you work the same job for 20 years and you literally had the same routine every weekend, and you didn't learn anything new, you're not gonna have any more funny stuff to say after a while, because like almost most of the jokes, they kind of showed up when you're reflecting on things that you thought was funny when you were like a teenager or young adult, kind of, right? Like that's kind of what I noticed, because a lot of comics, their references, I'm like, this is definitely made for millennials or a Gen Z, but like that Gen Alpha, I think it's called, like like it's like they're not going to get these jokes because it's all contextual. And then if that person's not growing, he doesn't have the same observing of things. That's what I've noticed is like, just from like what Rogan was kind of indirectly saying, it's like you have to keep living life and be yourself. And if you're naturally funny, then you parlay that into your profession, right? Into like the bits. So it's like, so some people though, it seems like they're not evolving, right? That's why they're not progressing in comedy, if you will. I mean, like, this is just my observation, you know?
Yeah, I noticed that. I won't name names if I'm making a disparaging comment, but there was a comedian who was a regular host at one of the comedy clubs in town for many years, and he got so comfortable doing the same jokes that I remember in like 2015 he was still doing this recurring bit where he would compare Alberta's politicians to Simpsons characters, with Ralph Klein being Homer Simpson, and the newest one was like Apu as Nenshi. And he was like he was doing that bit since The Simpsons was more in the zeitgeist.
Yeah. So he's like, out of touch, you know, like but I don't know, man, but there's comics in the States that literally like have little Vegas slots where they do the same jokes for 20 something years. They look the same, but that's not uncommon too, because so many people, they just live a life of routine. Yeah. Like, you know, like the most what do you call it? Malleable they've been, where they had a variety in their life, is when they were in high school or something. And after that, once it's just job, this, that, and then they're just in routine mode, and yet they were kind of funny then, and then they kind of latch onto that. And so that's like it, but it's like anything. If anything in life, it's you got to keep evolving. Yeah. But but a lot of people don't even want to like evolve, you know? I
think that's what Louis C.K. was talking about one time, where he was doing the same routine for many years, and he was telling some joke about peaches or something. He's like, I don't care about peaches. And then he like revolutionized stand up in how like his approach to trying to write a new hour every year and then throw it away, start again. Bro, okay. Which many people have tried to adopt, but it's hard.
Yeah, I mean, well, you notice it in people's stand-up. Like, I mean, their specials, right? Like, I don't know, like, there's certain ones on Netflix where I'm like, I don't, this guy's not hitting the spot for me anymore. Like, I don't get it, or maybe I'm just not evolving enough yet, right? Like, I mean, like I have to take my own advice too. Like, I'm, you know, I have to try to change too, and always be learning and growing. But it's hard, because when you do that, unless you mask it authentically in some kind of event that goes on in your life that naturally makes you evolve, right? Like, as in, say you get fired from a job, and then you get into another job, and then a year later you're like a different person kind of, but you're better for it, right? It's like, but some people never get fired from a job, and then they don't change, and then they just, so, but like, that's just as an example. It's not saying you have to get fired, but it's like, it's hard to manually like force out this like self-evolution. Like a lot of times I feel like it has to naturally occur due to you having experiences that force you to be in different situations because it like lines up with whatever like the mission you're on. You know what I mean? Like as an example, again, like if you're like a pro fighter and you're trying to be a world champion, then naturally if you're beating everyone in your gym and they're not bringing in new guys to your gym, then maybe you start finding other gyms to compete in or something. That like then you're out of your pond, right? Do you know what I mean? But if he didn't have the journey of saying I'm going to be a world champion, then he would maybe have stayed in his pond the whole time. And if his pond isn't evolving because the people in there are just doing the exact same thing, then they fall behind, right? Like it's so it's tricky because you have to try to evolve and get better at whatever it is that you do, but it's hard to manually make yourself do that. Like it takes a lot of discipline, and it's not comfortable, and you gotta kind of like enjoy not having fun and not feeling comfortable over feeling comfortable and having fun.
Yeah. Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life.
Easy choices, hard life. Hard choices, easy life. Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
That's fucking true, man. Yeah, no, I definitely believe that. But let's continue on your bio, man. Like we're born and raised. Let's go through that. So
born and raised in Calgary. Sorry, all I talked about was that I watched Aladdin. I guess the Aladdin thing is, I don't know. I don't really think about it that seriously. The real inspiration for my comedy is my parents, who were like the funniest people I ever knew. I don't know. Just watching like old like John Candy movies with them and stuff.
Like, were they both goofballs? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, my dad was probably, my mom was probably the straight man, and then my dad was more the just zany character most of the time. But they were a good team, and my mom passed away a few months before I started doing stand-up.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
That was kind of...
So in 2011?
2010. She died in 2010, and then I started in 2011.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Well,
what'd
she die of?
Cancer. Yeah. She was...
hey, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, that's okay. It's consistent with a lot of comedians. Like, I've heard that trauma is a great catalyst for wanting to, actually take that step into whatever you want to do with your life. Kind of having to face mortality a little bit.
So you got a comedy for your mom?
Yeah.
Oh. Aw. Brought you on here and make me laugh, man. Not cry.
Oh, sorry. It's yeah. And then
was she a heavy smoker? Did she smoke like 2 packs? Oh, fuck. I'm sorry, I was trying to make a joke here.
Nah, that was cancer? A part of it. She actually died of a what's it called in the lymph nodes? Lymphoma, I think.
I'm not the best guy to ask.
Yeah,
I heard of lymphoma. I'm not fully understanding what that means.
She died of a very preventable kind of cancer, but it was misdiagnosed as arthritis, and it grew in her for a while. And her doctor called her crying and telling her how sorry she was. Sorry, this is a really bummer of a story. I haven't one-man showed the sad parts of my life to make them all funny, and I don't know.
Hey man, whatever, this podcast
make it funny, but
it's authentic conversations, right?
Yeah.
Well, fuck, dude. That sucks. So
yeah,
does suck that it's So it's like sounds like it could have been prevented. That's the worst part, or at least a shot at preventing it, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, lame.
it could have been.
Oh, hey, okay.
And then just to rip the Band-Aid off of it in this conversation, my dad died in 2016 as well. So I'm
Well,
sad.
hey,
My dad's death was very sudden. It was a aneurysm. So I was on the phone with him that morning in 2016. I was house sitting for a friend, and he said, "Come on over, we'll walk the dog." And then I came over, and he was on the floor of the garage, and I had to try to do CPR and call 911 at the same time. That was pretty crazy. And then they said he didn't have any chance when we got to the hospital.
what? Bro, like,
Yeah, sorry.
no, don't be sorry. Like, I just like what I didn't know this shit, man. Like,
Yeah, sorry.
an aneurysm, just brain swelling, right?
Yeah,
So he just out of nowhere, like,
yeah. It was very sudden. My mom's death, we had about a year of warning, but my dad's death was very sudden.
how old were they? Both?
My mom was 53, my dad was 56.
Okay. So then you were in your 20s,
Yeah,
and
I was 20 and 26.
20 and 26. You all right?
Yeah, it's something, I don't know. It is a lot of trauma.
That's traumatic as fuck. That's like a Batman kind of origin. Well, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. Like, it's like, were you like not laughing for a while? Like,
Yeah, well, it was weird. Like, I even I think I tried to write some jokes for my dad's funeral. I don't know. Like, that was the instinct, and it was something to the effect of like, my parents are in heaven now. Or yeah, they always wanted to move to Vancouver, but settled in Calgary because it was more affordable. But now they're in heaven, which is still less affordable than Vancouver. Something like that. Something like that. Couple.
Hey, bro. Like, you can tell me shut up. Like, I gotta ask. Like, because people have seen Ben perform. Like, Ben has a bit of a shake, like
Yeah.
a tremor. Like, is that manifested from the trauma?
No, ever since I was a kid, I've had this.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, because you've heard of shell shock syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like people don't know about that. It's World War One. A lot of veterans they came back with tremors because just of the trauma of everything, of like the I might be botching it, but I know it has to do with the tremors of just the sounds from war and the bombs. So like they'll shake every now and then. And like, so when you first told me that, you know, the tragedy of your folks right there, of their deaths, I mean, like, I couldn't help but think, I was like, oh my God, like, there's a traumatic tremor you have, you know?
Yeah.
But now you're telling me you were always shaky as a kid?
Yeah, I don't know. It ever since I was a kid, my uncles on my mom's side had it as well, but then they grew out of it in later age. But I've always had a little bit of a tremor. I'll hold my hand up to the camera there. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, one might mistaken that for like you really want to drink, but that's why I'm always offering you drinks. I'm like, man, like, this guy's withdrawing hard. We better get him at least a baseline before we get him up there or whatever. Hey man, like, how'd you deal with all that shit?
Oh, well,
Like, would you do you have brothers and sisters?
no, only child.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Dude.
But I'm pretty close with my family, like extended family. On Yeah, I've still got my grandma on my mom's side is still alive, and got all my uncles and cousins and everything. They were very supportive, but I guess I did kind of deal with it. That's when I started smoking after my dad died, a couple weeks after my dad died, when I was 26. It was also right after I went to a Kanye West concert. It was like my dad's death, and then I went to Kanye a few months later. Well, when was that? He died in August. I went in October. And saw Kanye, and then started smoking, unfortunately, after that. I don't know. Picking up some bad habits.
Well, I mean, that's tough times, man. I mean, I don't blame anyone who never smoked to start smoking at that point. I mean, it helps, right? Like cigarettes do kind of help. They like, when I'm stressed, I smoke, and so,
yeah.
Well, when I'm not stressed, I smoke too. I should probably stop that as well. But
it's like trading a little bit of mental health for a little bit of physical health.
Yeah.
Every cigarette. That's how I look at it.
Did like are you like, would you say you're all right now though from all that, or like you still carry a bunch of pain?
I guess I've thought about it a lot through the lens of addiction in the last couple years, ever since I was started going to therapy.
And you go to therapy, you pussy. No, I'm joking.
Like, I guess
could you imagine if like that's actually the way I am? I'm serious. Like, oh, both your parents died, you're an only child, you go to therapy, you fucking pussy. You'd be like, why am I here? Why am I here? No, man. Yeah, no. So you, yeah. I mean, fucking appropriate move, man. Yeah, dude. That I don't know why I'm like all stuck on that right now, because I never had those kind of traumas, man. Like
sorry, I should have told you this before we started recording or something.
Yeah,
I feel
I've known you almost a year now. Like
I guess I don't tell people right away just because I don't want to. I don't know.
Well, you're right. There has to be a context to it.
Right after,
like, yo, bro, you watched the fucking UFC? Yo, both my parents died. I'm an only child.
Yeah, like right after my dad died, people's reaction to it was like, "Whoa, his other parent died too," and then I was kind of like the dead parents guy for a while.
Okay, like, okay, wait, I don't know, like. I don't know, man. That's heavy. Yeah. And like, especially how you told me you're like super close with them.
Yeah.
Like, so you're actually the perfect guy to ask this. Like, are you spiritual or religious, or were you, or like, I mean, how do you
I guess I am.
This is kind of like out of a movie, what I'm hearing here.
Yeah, I guess I am spiritual. I've dabbled a little bit into maybe like, I haven't gone to church. Well, I do go to church with my grandma, but not really with the intention of like giving my heart to Jesus, or I don't know. I still have trouble with that kind of language and stuff, but I do sense them with me still, if that makes sense.
Like Star Wars style, like they're kind of like hovering over you and shit.
Yeah, like
they're like, Ben, don't touch yourself like that. Yeah. That's too much. We've been over that. That doesn't go there. Ben.
It's like, yeah, like especially like listening to music. Like when I listen to a lot of my parents' old music, and whenever any songs of theirs come up, then it really feels like they're with me, like someone like Sheryl Crow on my mom's side, or like Taj Mahal on my dad's side. those artists particularly.
I thought you were gonna name something like Spice Girls, like Spice Up Your World or something, and then it's like you're like, this was always Dad's favorite. Spice Up Your World.
Like sometimes I'll be smoking a joint or something, and then I'll listen to Sheryl Crow's "A Change Would Do You Good." Or, if it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? Those kind of things.
Okay.
And it's like she's with me in those moments. So I guess,
you really got along with your folks, right? Like,
yeah.
Like almost, you guys are almost like a team. If you
yeah.
Fuck.
And I would say that's why.
Like, couldn't you tell me like you hated your dad or something, or your mom like
that's
never
the thing.
did your laundry or whatever? You know,
it sounds like a lot of people have a lot of troubles with their family, and I get that. But and I guess I have my own issues with how they died and everything, but I was really lucky to have them in my life for as long as I did.
Yeah, that's spiritual proverbs, right? They always say it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it, because it's true. Like a lot of things in life, it's how you want to look at it. Yeah, your initial response is going to be what it is, but you have that manual override. Like, you can choose to look at it from a place of gratitude or whatever, and like you will feel different about it. And then if you practice it enough, you will look at it differently. Because look, I haven't gone through what you've gone through, but we all gone through shit. But I mean, what you've gone through right there is like pretty sad. And like, you know, and it sucks to say, but in history, many people have gone through that as well. You know, so it's like, but you can, you know, like for instance, you know, you can always look at it in a way. You're like, hey, at least I had 20 something good years with them, right? Versus
Definitely.
like, say, it didn't happen like Batman's age, like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be all ripped and jacked and shit, and fucking, you know, like fighting crime or something, you know. But instead, you're doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So timing was a bit different for outcomes, but no, man. But I don't know. Like I've never had tragedy of that level happen in my life. Like, we've had tragedy. Like, I've had family members die, and like I've had friends die at young ages. But like I'm pretty old now. You know, I'm late 30s, so I think about a lot of things, a lot of existential crisis stuff, and like everyone. But I guess what I'm trying to ask you is like, did you wonder like why this happened to you and shit? Like, does that ever mess with your brain?
I've thought about that a lot. That it's like, I told my grandma once it felt like I was cursed, and she didn't like that because she's the most religious person in our family.
Christian?
So she didn't like the idea of me thinking that I was cursed. But no, I focus on the positives, like you say. Like, I did get to have.
Some people have like
great
60
relationship,
years and they hate their parents.
Yeah,
their parents are assholes. You had like 21 and 25 great years of like love and care and laughs and everything like that. You know, I mean,
yeah, and I guess my biggest aspiration in comedy, because my dad used to work at what is now the Arts Commons, the EPCOR. We worked there when it was the EPCOR Center for the Performing Arts. And I'd really like to do a show there one of these days. To like, he worked kind of behind the scenes as a building operator, and he would like take me to the inner workings of behind the scenes of all the stages and everything, show me how it all worked. And so to be able to do that, like Jack Singer Concert Hall one day or something, That would be like the dream.
Were you an unbearable asshole as a kid until they died, and then now you're like nice like this? Like, is there some silver lining that I can find here?
I was like,
tell me you were bullying people and you were just a piece of shit.
Well, I was
their
a shy
deaths to turn you into a good man like you are now.
I was a shy kid. I was a little bit of a bully though. I was like the second least popular kid in class, and the way that I maintained that meager position was by like, there was my friend Mitchell, who was my friend, but whenever other kids were around us, I would be like, Mitchell, what's he up to? And then everybody would make fun of Mitchell, and because I was like the ringleader of that bullying.
That's why your parents died. You fucking asshole, because you're mean to Mitchell. There we go. So did you learn your fucking lesson, Ben?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mitchell. Mitchell knows I'm sorry. I've talked to him about it in adulthood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. So everything, you know what, you better, I hope you learned your fucking lesson, man. No, man, it sounds like it's even more tragic. It sounds like you were like this nice boy and like funny and friendly, and like your folks like, you know, loved you as well. Maybe you had it too good. Do you ever think of it that way? You know? Like maybe the world has like a balance of like, you know, like good energy, and like maybe you guys hogged it all. Like there was just so much love in the home, and then you were an only child, so you obviously got spoiled, like, you know, many toys and shit all the time.
Oh yeah, Christmases were always me focused, which
yeah. So I don't know, somehow I can't help, but this was like you're a piece of shit, man. This had to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so like moving along here, you're here. You didn't like whatever, do like 13 Reasons Why and drag it out or whatever. So it's like and I'm glad, man. Like, you know, but yeah, no, but you found the strength to carry on, and you decided to get in comedy for your mom, and then the dad would probably kicked you in the balls for a bit there, but you just started continuing doing comedy and everything like that.
Yeah, that was the thing. A lot of people have real friction with their parents over starting pursuit like comedy, but my dad was very supportive of it. Probably one of my proudest moments was getting to win the 2014 Joke of Thrones. It was when Game of Thrones was still really big, so they called the comedy competition Joke of Thrones at the Laugh Shop. Big, and it they give you that sword and put your name on it and stuff. So I like won this trophy in front of my dad, and
was he like, my son? That's my son.
Yeah, that was like our big, I don't know. That, for as much of my comedy career as he saw, that was like the biggest moment of triumph I had. That then he got to brag to all his friends about and show them the sword. So it was good.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect this pod to go like this, but but I appreciate you sharing this. I don't know what it is, man. Like, I've been told this many times in my life by like many people, but they always say I have this ability to like open people up.
Yeah.
That's part of why I do what I do, because I've been told that enough times where I'm like, well, either I become a therapist, psychologist, or I do a podcast. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to school again. So I do this, but I don't try to necessarily open people up. I think you can tell, well, at least I hope you can tell, like I am a good person.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like my energy is like, I want to see people do well. I really do. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a competitive guy too, and I want to win all the time. But people are safe with me if they, you know, need a pickup or whatever. Yeah, I feel like I am the guy for the job, because I don't think many people could have asked you that, I think, without getting the same response that you just did. So I don't know. So maybe this was the place for you to let it out, because you said you don't tell anyone any of it. And now this is going to be on the fucking internet. So, you know, like, You picked the right time, man. But,
Gonna have a new wave of being the dead parents guy.
Oh fuck, man.
Nah, that's okay. I can live with it.
Yeah. No. Okay, but like, let's like, what are your goals now? Because you basically said that you just still love comedy no matter what. You love, like, however it progresses at whatever rate in your life. You find you'll just keep doing this because you do love it.
Yeah, I guess I feel I haven't been writing enough recently. I gotta get back into the daily practice of writing so that I can try to come up with that new hour so that I can film it somewhere. Hopefully somewhere like here. I don't know.
That'd be awesome, man.
And
Fuck
then,
yeah, man.
And then
you heard it, guys. The Ben's comedy hour will be here.
I'm gonna manifest it.
Yeah, no, let's do it. When you're ready for it, like, fuck yeah, we'll put it on. We'll make an event out of it. We'll tell people to, like, turn their phones off and shit, the whole shebang. I'm sure you're gonna, after this podcast, you're gonna get a couple of, oh, I'm so sorry, like, patting you on the head. And people might talk soft to you, like, are you okay, man? I'm at your comedy hour, you know, like,
that really is why I don't talk about it as much, because then you become this kind of like,
they call you Sport and Bud,
yeah,
you know, and start talking in a soft voice or whatever.
One thing that happened after my dad died was my dad's friend offered his daughter's hand in marriage to me.
She hot?
She's a beautiful young lady, but I
how old is she?
She's about my age.
Oh, okay, thank God. Because I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds like some Game of Thrones fucking shit. And you just told me you were 26. So I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
No, but that was just, I guess we were like friends when I was like a kid. I remember going over to her house with him for play dates
he literally was like, hey, both your parents died. Oh, Sophia, come over here. Marry Ben. Like,
pretty much.
Like, and then like, she's in a pickle because she can't be the asshole.
Yeah.
Or did she decline?
No, he made the offer, and then I just.
Oh, you actually made the offer?
No, he made the offer.
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
And then I just kind of was a bit stunned, so I walked away and then didn't talk to him about it, and now it's kind of weird between us.
Well, was she there? Was she there?
No.
Oh, so she wasn't even there. Like, that's like property. Like it was like 200 years ago, like, rules. Or whatever.
Yeah, he's kind of a conservative.
Did you ever talk to her about this?
No.
So she'll watch this maybe and.
Yeah, maybe. I would like to have a conversation about it with them again one day. I don't know.
You should probably check if she's not married with a bunch of kids by now, man.
Yeah. But it.
I'd say use Tinder for now. Maybe.
You know, grief is a weird thing. Everybody handles it a little bit differently. Sometimes.
Some people do cocaine. Some people go up to their dad's. Was it dad's best friend?
He was a good friend.
Yeah. Some go to dad's good friend and be like, "Hey, give me your daughter."
Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't ask for it, but that guy thought. You know, I have so many jokes. I don't know. I'm just like, he's probably like looking at Ben like, man, this guy's fucking sad. He needs to get laid. hey, Sophia, get over here. Is her name Sophia? I don't know. I just
I won't say her name, but it does start with an S. Okay, so you're close.
Okay, so Sandra. I don't know. I keep picking like mature names or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know. Man, this sounds like a. I don't know this. I just picture this like a rom-com, and then you go home and you're like crying because, you know, grieving the loss of your parents, but then you're also like thinking like, whoa, I might actually get laid by Sophia now. Like, something good came from all this, you know.
Yeah. You
should show me a photo after. I kind of want to see what I'm picturing in my head. Yeah. Does she have a unibrow?
No.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
I'm just trying to see if like picture like because in my brain I'm picturing like a rocket right now, right? So I'm like I gotta humble this idea here. So I'm like, any rocket with a unibrow will change it down. She could be a 10, she'll go down to a 6, you know. So I'm like,
No. I don't know if I ever told that story publicly, but it's okay. I haven't revealed any names. It's just kind of one of those things. It's something to expect in your own life. If you face trauma or something happens, then someone may offer their daughter's hand in marriage to you. That's something to be.
Well, and like in Game of Thrones, it's like after a war, after time, like, you know, like they need to shore up the alliances. Yeah, but right now this is just like fucking basic Canada 20. What year was it when this happened?
2016.
2016. Yeah, no. Yeah. Okay, so obviously you're not married and you didn't knock her up, so that didn't go down, and
No.
which you just said. Sorry, I'm talking out loud here. Okay, but like, did you have? Tell me, okay, Ben, for love, don't tell me you had a dog too that passed away at the same time of all this shit.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, no, are you serious? Are you
not at the same time, but we got a dog after my mom was diagnosed with cancer. We got a puppy, which was fine. The puppy lived for many years, but the puppy grew up to be an 11-year-old dog who did die.
Okay.
In February of 2020, like right before COVID.
Okay, that's not as bad. I thought you also like
no.
I'd be like, what were you Hitler himself in a past life, and this is like fucking like retribution at a cosmic level? Like
it was very sad when Lucy, my dog, died, because then there were those articles at the beginning of COVID that were like, well, it sure sucks that COVID's happening, but at least we all get to spend our time at home with our dogs now. And there was like an article of like a happy family with a dog, and I was like, I say.
That's when you take that 6-shooter and you put 2 bullets in there. And you're like, yeah, bro, man. Why is your life like a fucking Shakespearean tragedy?
Yeah. It is a little egregious, the amount, and just in the period of like from 20 to about 30 that I experienced was a lot.
I gotta ask.
But
sorry. You go.
No, I don't. You go.
Okay. I gotta ask because I'm a big law of attraction guy, if you will. Like I've seen it work in my life. But I've also seen it work in other ways, like, you know, like that subconscious negative thinking, fear. You're scared of something, and all of a sudden, like more of that happens. Like, you know, I have to organize my thoughts and make myself consciously control like out of the negative zone, because it goes wild. Especially the older I get. When I was younger, it was pure positivity all the time, so it was super easy to manifest more positivity. But as I got older and went through more adversity, then did you? I'm just asking, man, like, did you have negative inner feelings all the time your whole life, like a fear or feeling a dread or like or something like that? Like, you know, like do you feel like, I mean, I'm not necessarily looking for any specific answer here, although maybe I am, but like it's like, do you feel like in any way, shape, or form you at a spiritual level could have potentially attracted some of this crazy circumstance, if you know what I'm saying? Because like I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm just saying that there is something to be said about, there's people documenting this, like regular people to people who've like really noticed and like trial and error that, oh, okay, I'm negative now, and oh, this negative thing happens, like, you know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example. So like I'm kind of into like I was never a good BMX rider, but I did get into, like, I love watching it and stuff growing up. And there was a BMX rider, Stephen Murray. You know, Stephen Murray, he's the first one to do like a double 360 backflip. Anyway, he was from England, and he was making a big name for himself in the US at the time. He was very popular. Anyway, snapped his neck on doing that trick, paralyzed from neck down. And I think he did mention leading up to that, like he was like, kept saying, I think, again, I might be botching this, I'm so sorry if I'm botching this, but I think I read that he said that he kept like thinking in his head, don't like slip your right foot off your pedal. Don't slip your right foot off your pedal. And then he just focused on that, and then he did his trick and he slipped his right foot off the pedal and fucking landed. Like, so I don't know, like, so I don't know, like, were you like, I'm just curious, like, was there some element of like, as a kid, you're like, oh man, like I never want my parents to die.
Yeah,
you know, like everything's so good.
I literally, I do remember thinking it was like a shower thought one day. It was after another friend of mine when I was about 18 died. No, he didn't die, but his father died, and I thought how horrible that was for him. And then I remember thinking, like, the next day in the shower, I was like, man, if either of my parents died, I'd be ruined. And then a few years later, they were both dead.
Okay, I don't think it's the same thing as what I was thinking. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to find an answer here because it does make me struggle sometimes to when I see some people with like so much misfortune, where I'm just like, what? Like, how?
Yeah.
Like, how is this? I get life's not fair, but how's it this uneven? You know what I mean? Like, and my parents they're super Buddhist and stuff. So, you know, my mom's a big believer of everything happens for a reason. Like everything. Yeah. Like it's not always good. It's not always bad. It's part of like a greater plan. Like you're just like, you can control some things, but some things it's just pre-written and like, I don't know, maybe it's designed to just, you know, give a comforting thought or something, but
I think
I don't know, man, it's just like with you, it's just like that's just such a fucking bummer. Like it's just so terrible. Like I can't even begin to picture that in my life. Like
I guess I think of it in the lens of like my parents were both pretty big personalities in the lives of their family and friends, and the loss that everybody felt around their losses was like really significant. So I just want to be as much of my parents as I can be in this life to like replace them in the world. I don't know. It's like yeah, I don't know. I just try to be like them as much as I can be.
Well, are you well, all I know is this, like, no matter what happens to everyone in their life, I mean, if you choose to keep living, which I hope everyone does, because, you know, like you know, like the other way is not the answer.
Yeah.
You know, like, especially if you're still able-bodied, able-mind, you know, like it's, you just gotta need to focus on, again, find what you love to do, things you love to do, focus on doing those things well. And usually whatever everyone loves to do, pick anything, somehow that can translate towards helping people. And like, I really believe that good things will come from that. So you're doing comedy, that's good. Because like, you could have been that guy who's like, you know what? I'm just going to do a bunch of heroin. I'm just going to jerk off all day, you know, and night. I'm going to eat McDonald's. I'm going to smoke cigarettes. And I'm going to get wasted every night. And I'm just not going to give a fuck. I'm going to weigh 400 pounds. And like, you know, and like, that's just the way I'm going to deal with this, because pleasure is the only thing left. And like, it drowns it out the pain, like not 100%, but at least 90 or some shit. You know, you could have been that, but at least you're doing like what you love, which is comedy, and you do it well, sir. You know, so like, you know, I like, I look forward for you to continue doing it. And yeah, you're going to film your special here. So fuck yeah, you know. Yeah. I mean, I say just hustle even harder with that, man. Like double down on writing every day. Like, just become an animal with it, you know, like, keep like living your life so you have more like material and shit, you know, like, because I think that's your way to like grow as a person through any adversity.
Definitely. I guess I have like, I think about my comedy career in terms of like having a peak around the 2014 2016 period, where like I was really working at it every day and I had like the energy for it and everything. And then after my dad died, that kind of like halted the momentum of it a little bit.
Oh my God, blaming your dad's death again? Like, fuck.
But
I'm kidding.
But it, I don't know. And, I feel like for a little bit of time there after his death, I was
Did you
just
actually-
on autopilot a little bit, but I don't know. I feel re-energized, especially with things like getting to do the show here. I mean, it's like a reason to write and a reason to keep. I don't know. There's like more to do. So
Yeah, well, dude, I know like you have a lot more to give, so like go on and give it. Hey Ben, I'm gonna wind this down here. Obviously we'll do more pods together in the future. But I feel like people should hear this one. Get to know you a little bit, all right, hey Ben's Instagram's gonna be on the show notes there. I highly recommend you see him perform stand-up comedy throughout town. He has a very clever bits and clever perspectives. Hey, I hope everyone got to know Ben a bit today, and like when you see him, don't call him Bud in sport. But anything to add, bro?
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to
fucking have therapy.
Take another kind of account of my progress I've made in the years since all that has happened. I don't know. I feel like I have grown. There is life after death. It keeps going. So let's keep going.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, fuck yeah, man. And like I said, and I didn't invent these things, man. Like just pick up, go and work on your gift for the world, which is your comedy, right? Work hard at it, man. Like, you get as much as you put in, right? So
yeah.
Just dial it in, like treat it like your baby, and enjoy it, and just grind, right? That's what I'm doing with my business and everything, and things I love to do, and everything should be all right after that, no matter what, because you're alive when you're doing that shit. That's when you're actually alive, when you're chasing your goals and trying to bring out the best in yourself, right? Like that really is. Otherwise, you're kind of just slowly dying, really. So you honor your parents by fucking going hard, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm taking that my own advice too. Like and like after hearing your story, it just makes me more grateful for what I got, and I think it gave me energy too to like just. Hey, like I have a duty to fucking like take the beautiful things I have in my life, and just keep on evolving and growing, and not feel sorry for myself like ever, and that's like emotional intelligence,
Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, okay. Thanks for coming on, Ben.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.